Joey are very disappointed. Okay, welcome to game 3D3, I think. Paulina, Game Slayer, Hydroponos, and El Capitan. So, looking forward to a good game. Paulina, Game Slayer, possibly ones to watch. Although Hydroponos, very experienced player, and El Capitan, possibly a newer player, perhaps. Very slow to get into the game. I imagine I'm going to blame out Game Slayer. Everybody's here, fantastic. And this is one of Philothantic's maps I don't believe I've seen before, and it seems he's been pretty generous. Possibility of a Nomads, possibility... Gosh, he has been quite generous, hasn't he? Is perhaps a scientific spot here if you wanted it, perhaps. Some kind of expansive here, maybe. Any geothermals. You could even, that would be quite a nice nomad spot, but perhaps we'll see somebody settle quickly, maybe not. I'd like to see some elites. I mean, elite could drop quite nicely in there. El Capitan prioritising the aluminium for his found.
An elite HQ has been founded.
And, well, Bogart in the other spots.
Expansive colony founded.
Excellent Game Slayer going for it elite wise, which I like. Couple of electronics factories down and 2 elemental quarries. Interesting move. Has he brought a little bit of steel up? Quite a move from him. Quite a move. Paulina, traditional scavenger, decides to prioritise the water, which I think is a good choice. Takes the extra claim, which is an excellent choice. Even on HQ level 1, it's still worth doing. Cheap claims. I imagine she's going to be chasing the claims, Paulina. El Capitan, well, standard kind of nomad thing. Kind of up in the air about it. Not sure if I maybe prefer over here. You can take the aluminium if you want it, but just refund a claim later on. I mean, now you've boxed yourself in with these cliffs, I feel. Kind of boxed in over here.
The black market is gone live.
Expansive colony expanded.
I'm not hugely a fan of it.
Has been upgraded.
Hydroponos going for a water found, really. Sure if going to do alright, it's a little bit slow I think.
Expanded.
Paulina though is the last to get to HQ level 2, which understandable, bought the claim. Couple of steel mills.
The black market is gone live.
Maybe we'll see a little bit of power, although power's quite low. Be interested to see what these players go into. And he gets a storm on the way. Game Slayer's got his steel up. Has he got some iron coming in? He doesn't have any iron at the moment. No claims at the moment either, so a little bit of a risk for him. If somebody notices that and jacks up the price, it's going to be hard to support no iron at $60, $70 steel. El Capitan, well, he decides finally to get some silicon. Going to do alright with that silicon. Pretty nice possibility here with core samples, get a little silicon triangle. Although he's possibly not going to need it. His other claim here, well, there's a bit of a shame. Kind of totally got poached. But one good thing is if he does manage to get to Offworlds, Offworlds are looking average at the moment. Perhaps we'll see food, perhaps will be one of the better launches. We'll have to come back later and check it. He has got the possibility here getting some rather nice adjacency on a launch. 30% launch you could have at the moment. If that expands around here, he's looking at about 40. Never generally does it for me, but there's some possibilities here for him later on. Whether he was thinking of that when he found it, or whether he wanted to grab the water, I'm not sure.
Claim is available for auction.
He's got this water here, so be interested in watch his strategy with that one. Next claim he's decided. Will he get it for 4? No, he won't. Hydroponos says he'll have it for 5. I can imagine this is going to go for a decent amount. Claims on the market, but Always nice to pick one up from the auction. A little bit of debt. Polina choosing to have a couple of reactors. Obviously the dust storm came into play when deciding about that, I would suspect. Entrepreneurs, reactors as well with his 1 water. 4 steel for him. I suppose he has got the iron to support it, so interesting. Gameslayer, the Elite, is one of the first, or the second to get up to his HQ level 3. Those electronics factories appearing to do reasonably well, but when we have a good look, they're only making a $9. His food's going to be a bit better later on. As soon as dust storm clears, they'll improve. He's got his steel popping along. Or an extra claim for Gameslayer, which he hasn't yet decided where he goes with it, and he goes out to grab a little bit of water. Going to take this medium, so he's definitely going to have to look at perhaps getting slant drilling or certainly some optimizations, because he hasn't got a lot of claims as an Elite, so having to spend 3 on water, not going to get a huge amount of water out of that. Optimization's definitely going to be Gameslayer's friend.
Colony expanded.
Getting that geothermal plant as well will be advantageous for him. He's rotated into some farms. It's a nice move. That's probably the most profitable thing for him at the moment. May have liked possibly to see some glass out of him.
A nomadic HQ has been upgraded.
Being how expensive glass is, and there's not a lot of, I mean, you can sell food down, I suppose.
The black market is gone
Food is more profitable than glass because you've got the O2 component to the glass, so the food is the most profitable one for him, and splitting those 2 glasses there are going to minimise any black market attention he gets, although there are EMPs on, so moves into 2 solar panels. Interesting. The price of steel as it is, possibly could have considered geothermal plants, but solar panels for him at the moment definitely cost effective. He's got plenty of the silicon, plenty of it. Aluminium's cheap, so those solar panels doing good work for him. A single farm for El Capitan.
New building is available
Obviously
for auction.
been taking notes from Black Magic. That's something I really want to see with a Nomad. I really don't like that single one there. There's no easy adjacency for him. So, as there's no holograms, you can't even say that that's enough for a market or something hiding. Unfortunately, it is a single farm. Making $40 though, so could be worse. Polina takes the Pleasure Dome for 24k. Not the best Pleasure Dome. Only got 20% adjacency, but making good money. 166 after electricity tax.
The black market is online.
Gameslayer demonstrating how to play Elite is our first or second player to HQ at level 4. Hydroponos beats him there. Hydroponos, he took some glass, no silicon. Some farms which have been shut down along with his water. But he's doing rather well. Not sure what we're going to see. We're not going to see any kind of patent lab or anything from him. And he's got a HQ level 5 upgrade if he wants it. There's not really anybody who could stop him if he did choose to take it. I'm surprised he hasn't taken it.
The black market is online.
Perhaps he's just waiting for this freeze to come off. I mean, well, Polina potentially could be a little bit dangerous there with 50k. I think he could have probably pushed the button on that and got away with
A
it.
nomadic HQ has been upgraded.
Yes, Polina's showing some love to him. Stopping those very profitable glass kilns there, making $300 between the 3 of them, which is probably one of the better. Gameslayers are slightly better. But the big winners at the moment are these wind turbines of Polina's, making a healthy 380 apiece. Going to help propel her to HQ level 4. Hydroponos is still sitting on his upgrade. He's decided he's going to have a go at Gameslayer instead. Gameslayer barely going to defend himself. A little bit close there, I think. Certainly closer than he'd like. Good early aggression there from Hydroponos. Possibly he could have pushed the button on that a little bit quicker, but
Expansive colony expanded.
certainly in a commanding position, I would say. Money and shares wise, anyway, Paulina, I think, did beat him. No, she was second to HQ 5. Spread her claims out nicely there. She's not really going to suffer from any EMPs there, or a minimal anyway. Hacker Array got some oxygen shortages coming down. Another trick right out of the DT playbook. And has an EMP for her trouble. Very wise Gameslayer. No, Hydroponos obviously wanted some revenge from potentially what he felt was an attack from Paulina, which no, it was. Paulina has his food spied out. A few spies down. It seems for Hydroponos. Gameslayer looks like he's going to need a couple of reactors, get his food and glass and what have you going. Geothermal plant at long last, but he's got a little bit of debt there. Doesn't seem to be using. He's got superconductor coming down, which is good for him. Power is starting to creep up a little bit. Guess with the solar.
Pleasure dome is completed.
Some solar panels
I wonder
somewhere.
what goes on in there.
No, obviously there's not enough power in the market, so after the wind finished, after the dust storm, there's not so much power floating around, so the price of power is going to rise. Gameslayer is going to exploit it with his superconductor, possibly going to pick up geothermal borehole or something afterwards. He's going to need to, if he can, any money that he can knock off his debt is going to be really good for him.
More stock is being sold.
Immediately, Paint Lab shut down with Paulina's EMP. Gameslayer in D levels of debt, which is exactly where we expect to see Gameslayer. Hydroponos in C debt as well. Doesn't appear to be making enough power. Geothermals coming in, barely covering the steel mills. Also got a Patent Lab, hasn't picked anything up. Gameslayer is the only person who's picked up superconductor, which fortunately is offline. Geothermal plant offline at the moment, so not benefiting from his superconductor. And as well, seems to have stumbled slightly, Gameslayer. He was doing really rather well. Definitely coming through the early upgrades very quickly, but you can see now he's stuck there at HQ level 4. The two expansives at 5. Even the Nomad's managed to get some electronics factories down. Plenty of silicon coming
Off-world market is
in. Decent bit of
assembled.
water.
Our fortune awaits.
Hydroponos for the off-world market.
Let the bidding begin.
And the game decides teleportation is up for auction. Is anybody interested?
So,
That was pretty much a bargain. Paulina's definitely well placed to benefit from it. And Hydroponos has got an off-world market up, the sneaky little devil. I didn't see that. There we go. Food is the launch of choice. Got a water launch going at the moment, but going to be auto-launching food the next launch, but doesn't seem to be producing a huge amount of food. Moving into reactors now, which are a little bit more profitable, but I'd like to see an optimization centre down. Pretty sure that steel mill could go to be an optimization centre. Get it down, get some optimizations running.
look at all the money.
An elite
Paulina
HQ has been upgraded.
taking advantage and buying into some cheap stock of Hydroponos. Hydroponos there at D-Det at the moment. I mean, he's definitely put a target on his head having that upworld market running, and I'm not Really sure if that
We're
off-road
not
market's going to
surprised,
make enough
just
money.
disappointed in you.
Keep him going. I mean, also he's bouncing between C and D debts. Just tick there, hit him reasonably bad. Down 150, 160k's worth of debt, so he's going to bounce around there a little bit longer, I think. But part of his problem is he's losing a huge amount of money from power. 1300 a second.
Launched.
That's just,
Look at all the money.
well, it's ridiculous. It's just not sustainable at all. He's in a very serious sticky position at the moment. Some of those steel mills could do against Swaptown. He has got solar panels going down now, but why he's still running these steel mills? Clearly not profitable. Admittedly, it's the power that's the problem, but steel's at 50. Yeah, steel's been falling for quite a while, and iron's been rising for a little bit, so that steel is massively, massively unprofitable. It needs to be cut out immediately.
We caught the dirty rat trying to break our stuff.
Moves into some chem labs, but not. I'm not feeling chem labs at the moment. Carbon is.
How could one
Shipment
refuse such a
launched.
wonderful plot of
Hydroponics
land?
doesn't have any carbon for a start, and I seem to think the carbon price is going to be rising. There's not a huge amount of carbon coming into people. The game stay's got a bit coming in. El Capitan's got a little bit, but no carbon scrubbing's taken by Hydroponos. So, yeah, it's good then. His Chem Lab's going to be pretty profitable as he's got carbon scrubbing. 208 apiece. Very nice. I still want to see an optimization centre
The
down
black
from him.
market is online.
Must have cancelled out. I think your machines have gone back into it. Very odd. So, let's have a look at Paulina. Bit of carbon coming in. Going to cover those chemical labs, making good money on them. Not got any optimizations at this point. Oh, that was. There we go. Let's have a look. Bit of power.
The black market
Couple of
is
chem
online.
upgrades going to come along. Paulina still has a little bit of a deficit, but geothermal plants are going to come online soon. And indeed, that's that cleared. Hacking into chems, which is quite a bold move given that other people are going to shortly be or in the chems market. I mean, GameStar's got 3, Hydroponos has got his 4, so I can't see the price of chems remaining too high. But it does look like Paulina's going to wipe out Hydroponos. Fortunately, everybody buying into Paulina,
The engineers have advanced our production.
but still, I do wonder if that was too little, too late. You've seen before, once you get your own sub, stock price rises, and it can be quite difficult for the other players to overcome that big stock price. The Paulina does seem to be. El Capitan choosing instead to go into Gameslayer, which is a move I cannot support at all. Really should be putting his focus down on Paulina. They definitely need a joint effort to buy into Paulina. Because otherwise, there's no good fighting between themselves, because while they fight, Paulina's just going to be sitting there racking up the money. So, you may beat Gameslayer, or Gameslayer may take El Capitan, but then you're going to be facing a very, very powerful Paulina with a large
I am a crippling
pocket full of
network virus.
cash.
Buy me and unleash me on your enemies.
Nobody, it seems, wanting the network virus. Useful possibly for popping some goons. Very surprised it didn't go for popping goons, to be honest. Goon squad's at 50k, dynamite's cheap. Buy network virus, pop a goon squad. Although, would you really want an off-world market given these prices? I mean, water's about the best thing going. Water's pretty healthy there, $35
Our
isn't too
methods
bad.
continue to improve.
And Hydroponos, the sub, is going to be launching quite a lot of water. Going to be quite a profitable subsidiary at some point. Paulina, once those launches start getting going, can imagine we're going to see this $400 increase pretty rapidly. And there we go, Paulina circling like a shark, sees that El Capitan's committed to Gameslayer and decides, well, let's snap up some cheap stock. There's not a whole lot. Capitan sold El Capitan stock. I don't quite understand
Optimization routine
that.
successful.
If I am reading that, yeah. Well. Odd moves in the stock market there. Gameslayer is making reasonably good money, but he is going to need a pile of cash. It's nearly 700k if he wants to take out El Capitan and get his stock back. If he wants to take out Paulina, he is going to need 1.1 million. So, unfortunately, El Capitan has just killed himself and Gameslayer. Paulina 80% there of having El Capitan, and also she's going to have half a Gameslayer because she will receive
Off-world shipment
El
launched.
Capitan shares in
Look at
Gameslayer.
all the money.
I would imagine Gameslayer is absolutely fuming at the minute because he has made a reasonably nice recovery, and he's making. I hate to say he's making good money, but he's making money. He could be in competition with Paulina quite easily had he not this huge problem with El Capitan. Gameslayer going into Paulina, which is pretty much all he can do at this point. Paulina really committed there to food, decided to take out those wind turbines. And there we go, Paulina takes El Capitan, owns half a Gameslayer already, sells a few of her shares, and it's game over. A massive misstep, unfortunately, by El Capitan. It's definitely the kingmaker in this one. As soon as Hydroponos had fallen to Paulina, Gameslayer and El Capitan needed to cooperate, to work together, have half a Paulina each. I mean, that's fair, isn't it? Yeah, perhaps Paulina did get some cheap shares, but you know, it didn't really matter in the end there. Right, since everybody is going on about claims, let's go and have a look. Black market, Paulina took 4 claims, Gameslayer took 3 claims. Paulina did pay half what Gameslayer did, so fair enough. Might do some grumbling. Yes. That's it, so effectively Paulina with her 4 extra claims on HQ level 6. And everybody else was basically HQ level 5. Although Gameslayer did have 3 extra claims. He could have put them to reasonably good use, I think. Ah well. There we go. Paulina making amazing money off that pleasure dome that she bought for 24,000. That was an absolute bargain. El Capitan picked his spot. 10k wasn't a huge amount to pay for that spot, but didn't do a huge amount of good to him. Hydroponos actually chose to take that spot. Wow. I wouldn't have thought that his spot was worth 4k. But there we go. And Gameslayer, Capitan. Let's make a bit. There's neck and neck with Paulina and Hydroponos there, but Paulina, I think, possibly due with these claims brought up, just generally being slightly out of the way, helped not an amazing amount of black markets. Gameslayer making excellent use of patents there, picking up what he needed. Those stock markets. GG. Yes, massive misstep by El Capitan, unfortunately. Doomed himself and Gameslayer to be rather easily snapped up by Polina. But, hey ho. Okay, I should be back in a few minutes.
Is now when you could win a core sample to discover new resources. Congratulations! The Black Market. Your stock is being sold. Your stock is being sold.
An expansive HQ has been upgraded.
Optimization center is ready. Time to start improving everything. The engineers have advanced our production. The black market is online. We have a hard-to-come-by land claim available to the highest bidder. Sold. our methods continue to improve.